Hello everybody! My name is Marlo and welcome back to Techtopia. I hope you're all doing very well today. I myself am feeling super snazzy in my brand new chair. If you missed last episode, I mentioned right at the start how I broke my old one. The poor little thing, it was on its last legs and I snapped it in half basically. And yeah, I got myself a new chair. It's very different to my old one, so I'm a little bit uncomfortable at the moment getting used to all the new features. I mean, this one has armrests. Armrests, I know, revolutionary. My arms aren't just dangling anymore. It's wonderful. But yeah, a little bit uncomfortable at the moment. I'm sat upright and everything is a bit peculiar and indifferent to what it usually is, but I will get used to it in the end. Don't you guys worry about me. I will make it through. But yeah, enough chair talk. We'll leave that out of the episodes from now on. But yeah, today what I would like to do is fight the Necromancer. Now, we have done that many times in this series, and it's a little bit of, I don't want to say bore, because it is still quite exciting, but it happens so often and usually outside of the village gates that I don't really bother putting it in the episodes. Last episode I mentioned about turning him off, which still haven't seen what you guys have said about that, but yeah, I'll wait to hear back from you. But I think today, instead of just a boring old fight outside the village walls, I would like to have more of a battle, the great battle of Esteria. So we're going to try get the Necromancer to hopefully spawn inside the walls at some point today, and then we can have a big old brawl with all of our guards. Now, the only issue is, we only have 10 guards in a village which has a population of nearly 90, so that's a lot of Necromancer action and not a lot of guard action. So I think the first thing we're going to do today in preparation for this battle is to build yet another barracks. Wow, okay, really off to not the best starts for today's episode. I just built this entire thing and Replay Mod decided to say, nope, can't have this, I delete now, goodbye, gone forever. So yeah, the replay didn't save at all, so I can't make a time lapse of it, so you guys can't see this being built up unfortunately, but this is the second barracks in our village, looking pretty cool I'd say. Since I can't show the outside of the build being done on camera, I figure we should do the inside on camera for a bit of a change. So right now I'm just taking out all of the floor, or in fact that's already done, and I'm replacing it with some nice birch. Not really that nice actually, but fits pretty well with our desert village. Next up, we can go ahead and add in all of the beds for all 10 guards. There's a lot of beds in here, so we need a lot of floor space. I think I've actually managed to keep it within the amount needed. We would need, what is that, 120 floor spaces, right, for 10 villagers. Each of them need 12, so if this is 11 by 11, this square here, that's 121. We've already gone over the limit, so we should be good in that department. But now we're going to grab some ladders, go up here, and I think just bring them up to about there should do. And then we can get some of our sandstone slabs and pretty much just add a 2 wide ring, just like this, going all the way around the top level here. Something like this should be good, and in theory the archers of this barracks over here can stand up here next to the embrasures and get kind of a good view, can't really see out of this block here, of their surroundings and snipe any enemies that come near, whilst also keeping an eye on all of the sleeping guards. But next we can grab our armor stands and place some of these, well, they're actually training dummies, in the middle here. Have I centered that correctly? Definitely not. Much better. They are also going to need some chairs to sit down if they don't feel like hitting the hay, so we're going to put 4 of them next to their beds here, and then I'm thinking we put 2 just next to the armor stands over here so they can observe the training, and then maybe we just put some other ones by the 4 entranceways here so it looks like they're actually sat on guard duty, making sure nothing comes into the mercenary barracks that shouldn't. Have I put them all on the right hand side? I think so. And then I don't know if I'm going to be able to put one here. That was a plan originally, but I don't know if under this block is going to count as part of the building. So I'm going to leave it there for now. If one sits on it, fantastic. If one doesn't, it really doesn't matter. Only one of them is without a chair and they don't all sit down at the same time. So should be fine. And lastly, we've just got to sort out this ugliness on the 3 entranceways here. So we're going to break these 4 blocks and kind of just wrap the stairs around just to smooth it out a little bit. That looks much better than that does. So we can do it again on this side. And then finally, whoop, breaking too many blocks. We can do it on this side over here. So get rid of these 2, place 2 stairs. And just like that, our barracks is all done. Looking, it looks okay, to be honest. It's nothing really that spectacular. As soon as I get 2 more hearts, we are going to spawn in the children that will eventually grow up to become the guards. Now, what I did last time with that process was set up some temporary homes so the children have somewhere to live before they are moving into the barracks and become guards. But because we're aiming to get 100 villagers exactly, if I just show you here, we are currently on 86, and without going into too much depth of explaining this because I've tried several clips and it just gets really confusing, basically we're going to have some wastage of tokens and just have them that we're not going to use because I want to stop on exactly 100 villagers. So I think instead of setting up some temporary homes for these children when we do eventually spawn them in, I instead am just gonna really kind of baby them for 5 days straight and watch them very closely and make sure everything is okay, they don't die of unhappiness or anything like that. So we're gonna have some homeless children roaming the streets of Asteria for 5 days once we spawn them in, but as soon as they grow up and become guards, their happiness should shoot all the way back up and everything should be right as rain again, in theory at least. Good morning, Asteria. It's time to wake up, my citizens. Hopefully at least 2 of you have got a heart for me. I hear one and I can't find it anywhere on the surface, so I'm imagining... Aha! Hiding from me, I see. Really? Only 1 heart. 86 villagers and only 1 of you were happy enough to leave me a heart in the morning. Very disappointed, everyone. Very disappointed. I expect better tomorrow morning, which is what I'm going to have to wait until now, which is slightly annoying. But I was just thinking, I've had some of you guys asking me to build a sandcastle in this village, and I don't know if it's just me, but I think this kind of resembles a sandcastle in a way. You know, one of those stereotypical, what you would imagine to be a sandcastle, fill a bucket up and plop it on the sand. I feel like this building kind of looks a bit like that. So for those of you who wanted a sandcastle, I think, here you go. You know, there's just something super satisfying about building up an entire village in Techtopia like we've got here. Admittedly, it's not completely done, but then viewing it from above and just watching all of our villagers put in the work, do their daily chores, and just be full of life. It's so cool and is exactly why I love this mod so much. I genuinely don't think there is. I've checked around all of the houses, or at least walked by them, and I haven't heard any twinkling noises, so yeah, I'm gonna now have to wait a whole nother day for morning to come once again, and instead of just kind of waiting around like I did last time, let's do a build instead. This idea for the build we're doing right now comes from Mr. Macaroons, who suggested a fabric shop. So in his comment, he pretty much says how Arabian culture is known for their beautiful fabrics. So this right here is where all of the rugs, banners, maybe even some beds possibly, could be, you know, the duvet on the bed, they could sell them here perhaps. Anything that would require any sort of fabric, this is where you would get it. So I do need to come up with some banner designs. Gotta think about that, but obviously this build right here, the actual structure of it really isn't too special. I think it's going to get really cool and interesting once we actually do the inside, which of course I will do now and show you around. So yeah, this is the fabric shop. Doesn't particularly look a lot like a fabric shop at the moment though. Let's do something about that. Before we start work on the interior, we should probably spawn in these children that are going to grow up to become our guards. So you can see I've got all 10 hearts ready to go. So we're going to head over to the tent here. Now, Maya, you can also be in charge of this, but Yago, you're babysitting these for now. I got to go do the house interior. So yeah, you have to watch these. So we're going to spawn in all 10 down here. And yeah, just keep an eye on them, Yago. It should be fine. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to handle this. Excuse me, Mai, walking in the way a little bit. Just don't let them run away or anything. Keep them inside the tent and yeah, like that. Just single file. Just make sure they don't run away. Yago, they're walking away, and they also have a bed. Yago, some of the children in the village have done a bit of a switcheroo with the adults when it comes to housing. They have basically taken their homes. As you can see here, we've got Malphia sharing with Steve over here. So yeah, that guy is a proper adult. I don't know where the other children are, but we've got 2 more in here, so that's fine. I'm sure it's just temporary. I don't mind the adults being homeless. I'd probably prefer that, honestly. But yeah, I'm assuming once we give them the guard tokens and they move into the barracks, everything should, in theory, go back to normal. But I finished the fabric shop, so let me show you around. Outside here we have our nice little canopy, of course, made from the fabric maker themselves. I have no idea what that actual profession is called. But yeah, we've got the canopy out top, and then this is where they do part of the work. I have no idea how fabrics are made, really, apart from woven in a loom, which is actually what we've got over here. So they're woven here and maybe flattened out or something out here, and then this is where the dyeing process is, maybe with the cauldron, and then we've got a banner on display here linked up to the armor stand, or well, placed on the block here, just like that. And yeah, I thought that looked kind of cool, except from it flows through every now and again because the banner moves a little bit. At least I thought it did. Okay, maybe it doesn't. Oh well. Yeah, and then on the inside here, we have a whole lot of banners, which take a long time and a lot of dye to make. So I've been doing this for quite a while. All of these designs, apart from this one here, this is the village banner, as I said. All of the rest are just from Planet Minecraft, just a bunch of random ones I got. I thought this looked a little bit like an Egyptian cat type of thing. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. So yeah, this has taken me a little while. It's a bit tedious to do, but I think it looks really cool. And then these up here maybe are just freshly dyed banners, and they're just airing off before they're taken outside to put some color on or something like that. And then we've just got some rugs on show, and then some full wall blocks in case anybody needs that. And yeah, I think it looks pretty cool in here. Obviously no villagers will come into work, but I like doing these cosmetic builds. Makes for a nice change every now and again. Soon enough, our children will grow up into nitwits and we can make them guards. But before we do that, there's a couple things I want to get to first. The first thing is spawn in some iron golems. You guys have been telling me to do this for ages and I always forget, but this episode I'm making sure I don't. So I've got 8 here. I don't know if that's going to be too many or too little. I also don't know if they're actually going to do anything in the village, be that much of a help, but it can't hurt really, right? They shouldn't attack the villagers, I hope anyway. I guess we'll find out here. There's one. There's not one. How do you do this? Okay, they've got a little bit more room now. This should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Oh yes, here they come, the Guardians of Esteria. March forward, my golems, and protect everybody, and don't attack the children or anybody for that fact. Just walk around and just do your thing. Hopefully you do something. I just do your best. That's all I'm asking, really. Hopefully these guys start to spread about a little bit and just wander around the village. They're not attacking anybody, so all's good here. I'm sure they'll lend a helping hand every now and again, but what we have to do now is purchase all of the guard tokens. So I think I've got enough here, 3 stacks and 28. I'm pretty certain, if I can math correctly, that should be the exact number needed for all of these tokens. Indeed it was. Wonderful. Okay, so now we have all of these on standby. Just have to wait a few more days for our children to grow up, and then we can start awaiting for the necromancer. As you can see from all of these green beds, the children have now grown up and become guards, moved into the barracks, so I think the housing situation should be sorted. And whilst we wait on the necromancer's arrival, they will also go on training and leveling up their skill. This one is blessed right now, why he is level 98. He's probably near 30 or 40, I would imagine. But yeah, it's probably going to take a little while for the necromancer to show up. So I think in the meantime, let's do a little build related to this thing we built right at the end of last episode. So we need, well, this is where all of the beer is made. We need a brewery to go beside it, so hopefully I can fit something in here. If not, I'll have to find another spot for it. This really is just a very simple and small build. I didn't have a lot of room, nor did I want to do too much with it really. Poor merchant taking damage on a cactus again probably, but yeah, I'll quickly show you my thought process here. Oh, that's such a loud anvil. There really isn't much of a thought process, to be honest. When it comes to making beer in real life, there are many steps to it that would be very difficult to convey in this game. So really I've just put a bunch of junk in here that's meant to be doing something. This is our barley, how it starts off. I know it's not actually barley. Use your imagination once again. Some table with some things on, and then some water, and this is something, I don't know. But then when they got their finished product, they put it out the window here into that trough outside, and then they can grab some buckets and fill up these water containers, or beer containers I guess. This is just 6 glass panes all linked together. I think looks a little bit like some glass jugs of sorts on some sort of cart, and yeah, they wheel it on over to whatever this thing is. A beer silo, I guess we can call it. I'm still not really sure. Oh boy, here we go. Where has the necromancer spawned? Inside the walls or outside the walls? Oh, there they are. The battle has begun. Wow, I am seriously impressed with the capabilities of all my guards there. They did amazingly, so fantastic. I barely did anything except from push that one wither skeleton down the quarry. That was all I had to do with it. The guards had the rest of it covered. You can kind of see a little bit of the remnants over there behind me. Wow, that battle was more of a very one-sided fight, but still very exciting nonetheless. Good to know my guards can handle themselves. That was pretty awesome, guys. Well done indeed. No deaths either. Truly remarkable. The golems didn't do a whole lot either, but they're pretty cool seeing them walk around. Haven't spread it about too much, but I'm sure they'll get there in the end. One of them was climbing the pyramid here in the center earlier, but I think they've made their way down. This might have been the one. So yeah, pretty happy with everything we've got done with today. That's where we're gonna call it for this episode. We got our fabric shop over there, looking like a regular old building until you walk inside. That is yeah, really quite like how it looks in here. I think it's very cool and colorful. And then of course gotta fly all the way back over to the other corner of our village here. We did the town hall, no, incorrect, the other barracks, and we're making good progress here. We're coming along. There's probably not too many episodes left. I know I keep saying that every single episode, but yeah, we're certainly closing in on the end of this village. And I'll say it once again, we're just going to move on to another place in this world and start over. Make a new village, new style. I've got many ideas of stuff I want to do. Haven't properly decided on one yet. Trying to find somewhere to land here, hopefully at some point. This will do. So yeah, still got lots of thinking to do for that. But anyway, guys, I hope you did enjoy the episode. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.